If you weren't a racing driver, what would you be?
A motocross rider.
How many languages can you speak?
Italian, French, English, Portuguese and Spanish.
Who would you want to play you in a movie about your life?
Brad Pitt.
Antonio.
Sorry, man. Hey, what's up, man?
How's it going? You good?
All good, man. How are you?
I'm all good. Are you ready to answer some questions?
Let's do it. Always up for that.
First up, real simple. What's your full name?
A bit of a mouthful. Antonio Maria de Melo Brenner, Felix da Costa.
One more time?
Man, I get a lot of problems in the airports. So Antonio Maria de Melo Brenner, Felix da Costa.
And who do you race for?
I race for DS Techeetah Formula E team.
And where are you from?
I'm from Portugal. Born and raised in Cascais, beautiful place.
What is the best thing about racing in Formula E?
Like, honestly, it's just how fun the races are, so competitive, and then the places we go to, like for now we're here in Monaco and we've done LA, London, Miami, Hong Kong. It's just awesome.
Why do you race with the number 13?
I don't know, man. When I was young, first team I ever raced for, they said you need to pick a number with a 3 on, that's our policy. And you know, 3 was taken, 33 was taken, so I took 13. And it went pretty well, and everyone always said, you know, that's really a lot of bad luck and stuff, but you know, I always like to contradict stuff, so I took it. And we've proved some people wrong.
What's something that might surprise people about being a racing driver?
We tend to procrastinate a bit. I think everyone does, but you know, it's good sometimes to do it, but yeah, honestly, I think it's how everyone in this grid is just so competitive and loves winning, and it's sometimes easy to get angry at each other.
How old were you when you first started racing competitively?
Yeah, my first race I was 8 years old. It was like the Portuguese National Cup. It's like a one-off race, and yeah, 8 years old. Had a decent crash already in day one, but you know, everyone thought I was going to be scared for the rest of my career, but I just kept on going. Big boss!
What's been your best day on the job as a racing driver?
I don't know, man. I mean, victories and winnings, it's what we live for. And for me, yeah, there's a couple of big ones there. You can see everyone loves me in the paddock. Couple of big wins, you know, the Macau Grand Prix, winning the Formula E title. Those days are the days we live for.
Yes! Let's go, boys! That's slapped!
And how about the worst day on the job?
Honestly, it's like defeats, and especially when they are my fault. You know, those days are hard to overcome. They're hard to forget. But it's also a good thing that they bring me down like that, because you know, it shows me that I'm competitive and I like to win. And you can't win them all, and everyone does mistakes, so you just need to learn from them.
So what would you say then is your biggest achievement?
I think the main thing is like making it as a racing driver. You know, I consider myself super lucky to call this my job. And sometimes we tend to forget that. We tend to get too much sunk in and forget how lucky we are, how much fun we need to have. So I really tend to always enjoy myself a lot at the racetrack. Obviously, when the helmet comes on, I'm a killer. But I love having fun outside the race car with my mechanics, my engineers, the other drivers, the other teams. So yeah.
What achievements are you most proud of before you joined Formula E?
Yeah, winning Macau, the Macau Grand Prix was super special, especially twice. Ciao grande, capo. Cerco sempre di fare il bravo. Yeah, winning the Macau Grand Prix twice, that for me was a big highlight, you know. Working with a Formula One World Championship winning team for a few years, meeting a lot of great drivers, winning races in DTM. You know, I've had a few moments where you feel like you're on top of the world when you do those.
Who's been your biggest rival in your career so far?
That's a hard question, you know. I think every year there's a new guy, you know. I haven't had this one guy that's always been the one, you know. It feels like every season I have a new guy that I really get into it. You know, I've had Kevin Magnussen back in Formula Renault 2 Leaders. I've had Kevin Magnussen again in World Series. I've had Stoffel Vandoorne in World Series. I had Mitch Evans. He really put up a fight last year for the championship here. I had Mitch Evans in GP3 as well. So yeah, around these 2 or 3 guys, it's always been tough. And obviously now, I mean, my teammate, he pushes me so hard, which is a great thing, Jev. So yeah, it's cool.
Who's your sporting idol?
My sporting idol is probably Travis Pastrana. You know, a lot of people get surprised when I say this, but I really think this guy has the perfect mix between having fun and winning. And this for me is it's key to live a healthy lifestyle and be successful and be kind to the ones around you. So I love how Travis approaches the sport in general.
What are your hobbies outside of racing?
For hobbies, well man, honestly I live in Cascais where I live. It's just an amazing place, and I love surfing, so I spend a lot of hours in the sea surfing. I don't know if you can consider it a hobby, but just like really spending time with my family and friends. I know that's not a hobby, but it's something I put a lot of energy into. We spend a lot of days away from home, so that's something I tend to do a lot when I go back.
If you weren't a racing driver, what would you be?
Well, 2 things actually. As I said, I love surfing, so if I could be a professional athlete in surfing, it would be amazing. I really envy those guys' lifestyle. You know, these guys, they wear board shorts all day, sandy feet, and you know, they get to do what they love as well. Or a motocross rider. Something I really like is the supercross guys in America, the races they do on the stadiums. That's awesome. So yeah, probably one of those 2.
What's an interesting fact about you that a lot of people don't know?
An interesting fact about me? I don't know, man. I like to be liked and I hate to be hated. I guess that's probably the best way to describe me.
How many languages can you speak?
5 languages, Italian, French, English, Portuguese and Spanish.
Any pets?
Yeah, 3 dogs now. They're all very different to each other. I have a Great Dane and a French Bulldog, and they love each other. And we just got a new addition early this year, which is a Labrador.
What's your idea of a perfect holiday?
Perfect holiday? Well, for me, I do like to do like tourism and stuff and visit new things, but honestly, for me, it's a surf trip. I've done it a few times, a surf trip in the Maldives, and man, this thing is the best time of my year.
Favorite type of music?
Favorite type of music? That's a hard one for me to reply to, because man, honestly, it really depends on my mood, and I actually use music to get me in the right mood to how I'm feeling, and to get me out of bad moods actually. So I don't know, man. Like I like party music, like house stuff, or I can go to hip hop or R&B, or even what I really love is oldies like Elton John, Queen, Bee Gees, and these guys. So yeah.
Wow, that's a big mix of music. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I love a movie with Nicolas Cage called Lord of War. Great movie. And I mean, Christian Bale for me is #1. And so the 3 Batmans with him, they're insane.
Who would you want to play you in a movie about your life?
To play me in a movie about my life? Well, we'd need to get someone which looks more or less alike. So probably, I don't know, Brad Pitt, I would say, is probably a good guy to play me.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Go-to karaoke song? Actually know this. It's Ain't No Sunshine.
How do you have your coffee?
Super strong coffee with a bit of milk, just to cut it off, but the coffee part needs to be strong.
And your favorite food?
Portuguese seafood.
Are you all work and no play, or all play and no work?
I'm an all play and a bit of work.
Who's the biggest party animal on the Formula E grid?
Biggest party animal in this grid? He's a new addition to this championship. We haven't seen him in action yet because of COVID, but Norman Nato, I'd say, is a pretty strong contender. And we've actually lost our biggest party animal, which is a shame, last year, which is Pechito, Jose Maria Lopez. This guy was #1, man.
Which Formula E driver would you trust to be your best man?
Formula E driver would I trust to be my best man? Probably Mitch Evans. You know, I get on really well. I get on well with a lot of these guys. Mitch Evans or Robin Frins, probably one of these 2, they could do that for me.
Would they throw the best stag do as well?
I'll probably have to invite Norman then, Norman Nato, to be part of the best man crew then, if we're talking about throwing parties. Mitch is not bad either.
What racing rituals do you have on a race weekend?
Well, normally I like to warm up in the morning with my routines, skipping the rope, stretching, and just warming up a little bit, and helps my mindset to get in the right place before a race. Also, listening to music, it's a must for me.
What's the last thing that you always do, or something that you say to your engineer before a race start?
Let's do this. Go time, baby. Yeah, French have different humor, but I'm transforming my engineer slowly.
What's the hardest thing about being a racing driver?
Honestly, it's the way, how much time you spend away from home. It's people think we live an amazing life, and don't get me wrong, we are super lucky, as I said, to do what we do, but there's a lot of sacrifice and work that comes with it, and spend a lot of days away from home. Pre-COVID, it's probably was like 140 flights a year, so it's a lot of flying, a lot of time away from your family and friends, but in the end, it's all worth it.
What's the hardest thing about being a Formula E driver?
Honestly, man, Formula E, you know, our race days, everything's in one day, and it's so compact, it's stressful, the way qualifying works. And I don't know, just managing all that, managing your inner self, your expectations, your anxiety, your nervousness, all of that together. But when you put it all together and you come out at the end of the day as a winner, it's the best feeling in the world.
Okay, home stretch now. What's one bit of advice you'd give to someone who wants to be a racing driver?
Well, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but the never give up is definitely fitting. I think most athletes or people that want to pursue an athlete career, you know, there's a lot of no's, there's a lot of moments that we think it's not going to work out, and a lot of moments that we think about giving up, but really having the right people around you and pushing you to be better and keep on trying and keep believing, it's really the key.
How do you relax after a race?
Well, if I can, I'll go home, surf as much as I can, and just recharge the batteries before the next one.
Favorite circuit in Formula E?
This is one of them. I think Monaco. It's the first time we raced a full track, but it's pretty special. And then I loved when we raced in Miami. That one was awesome. When we raced in Montreal was awesome as well. But I think the best one right now that we go to is probably Riyadh. Combination between high-speed corners and low-speed corners is awesome.
And favorite circuit in the world?
Probably the Nordschleife, the big Nürburgring. They call it the Green Hell. It's the longest circuit in the world, and there's this fine line of pushing hard and danger, which for us as drivers is so special.
Somewhere that you've never raced before, but you'd like to?
Probably Bathurst. I'd love to be on that circuit. I mean, and the 12 hours of Bathurst is one of the biggest races, and the track just looks amazing. So I'd like to give that one a crack.
So what do you drive at home?
Well, I have my DS7, the hybrid car, but honestly, the best thing I have is this full electric scooter, and where I live, it's just awesome to go around and, you know, gets the job done, and I really like it.
What excites you the most about the future?
How clean it's going to be. Hopefully, you know, we're all working towards this mission now to make it clean and sustainable, and hopefully we can give the next generations a much better place to live in.
And finally, last question, why should people watch Formula E?
For me, honestly, it's one of the most competitive, fun races out there these days. You know, we're a growing championship, and I don't know, I cannot tell you if I can win or finish last this weekend, and that's how unpredictable it is. So yeah, try to win.
That's 45+1. Thanks, man.
Cheers, man.
See you soon.